We have a guest today.
Yes, we do. It's kind of neat. Last night and tonight, of course, the two-part, 4-hour miniseries on Elvis and me, the book about Priscilla, so forth, so on. We have that lady here, her name is Carrie White. Carrie, in the 70s, was, in fact, the hairdresser to the stars. She literally did everybody you can imagine. Marlon Brando, the list goes on and on. Well, the main one we're here to talk about with Carrie is Elvis Presley. Carrie, good morning. Thank you for joining us, and how are you?
Hi.
So you did the King's hair.
The cake. Hello.
All right, now, first of all, how did that come about? How did Elvis get you?
I met Priscilla through doing a layout for Ladies' Home Journal.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I was close. If I got Priscilla, I knew we were on our way.
So you did Priscilla's hair first?
Yeah.
You were responsible for the 10 feet tall bouffant hairdo?
No, I think I was responsible for suggesting no eyelashes, Priscilla. Calm down on the black. She's a doll.
And so you were then invited to go to Elvis's home?
And then she asked me, would I cut Elvis? Would I?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. And so you would then
I beat her to the house.
You would go to his home and do his hair?
Yeah. And then I went to Vegas a couple of times, and he had two houses. He had the house before Priscilla that sometimes we would go over there, and then the other house that he lived at with Priscilla. But always there were swarms of bodyguards, and we were alone, though, to do his hair.
So you were responsible for the Elvis look then, with the hair and the sideburns coming down like that?
He wasn't, that heavy at that point. I think he really...
What year was this?
Well, it was the early 70s till about, 75, I think, 74, 75.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, is he fat? I said, no, he's just thick.
Well, Carrie. So these were the drug-taking years for Elvis? So what was that like?
Hey, Robin Williams says, if you remember the 60s, you probably weren't there.
No.
That's it.
Well, now, what was it like? You go into Elvis Presley's house, it's just you and he, and you're sitting there doing
just him and I and 4,000 bodyguards. No, they leave the room when I cut his hair.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd say something to all those punks that think they're happening with their dyed black hair. Elvis was the first to do his hair black. Hello.
Well, the King was first in everything, wasn't he?
You really knew when you were in the presence of Elvis.
So he dyed his hair black. How often did this take place?
That I didn't do. That was one of his, Charlie, I think, his bodyguard.
Oh, he had his bodyguard dye his own hair?
Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting thing there.
I'm video of that.
There's some frightening stories that goes with that. But what about Elvis? I mean, if you're there alone with him.
One of the things that was important that he wanted really for me to do, he thought that it was his own idea. What if you did a bunch of wigs for me, disguises? Because girls would literally crash into his car, into his Cadillac. I love you guys this morning. Here, let me give you a Cadillac. He gave me a gun.
Elvis gave you a gun?
Yeah.
Why did he give you a gun?
He thought I would feel safe. I was never so nervous in my life.
Elvis was into guns, I guess. Was that
big time?
Guns and miniature guns of the big guns.
Yeah.
And I said, what are these for? Shooting caterpillars,
Yeah.
But anyway, so I do these wigs, blonde, red, light brown, and different kind of hairstyles, so that because people would run into his car, girls, I say, God, I know I'm wrong, but stop inside here, just anything to do to stop him. I mean, this poor guy used to work outside of Vegas. I mean, when he'd work in Vegas, he'd have an ambulance and a stretcher outside because he was always having a note threatening his life every night. And you can't not perform because you're getting a note, some guy from the Ozarks, kill you, Elvis.
Sure.
My girlfriend loves you, I kill you.
I'm gonna kill you. You're so attractive when you do that. Do not.
All right, I tell you what, our special guest is Carrie White. We're going to break for a second. We're going to come back and find out what the King was really like.
Hey,
holy cow.
We'll be back.
Mark and Brian program. Good morning.
By the way, Donny Osmond's going to be in town.
Holy cow, we saw this.
We saw this. It's Monday the 22nd, Tuesday the 23rd of this month at the Crazy Horse in Santa Ana. We are going to try to get this man on our show. Won't that be a party?
We've made no connections yet, but we are going to make the attempt. Get ready. Here on the Mark and Brian program.
That's big.
Our special guest now is Carrie White. Again, Carrie in the 70s had a styling shop. She literally was the hairstylist to the stars. She did everybody, and we're going to get into that. Right now, the person we're talking about is the King, Elvis Presley. She'd go to his home here, the two homes he has here in Los Angeles, and do his hair in the early 70s. Tell us what it was. What it was like to go to the home of
Brian show now, not of the 80s.
Yeah. Did you leave the home after you did his hair thinking, man, that jerk, his head's so big he can hardly stand it?
Oh, absolutely never. I'll tell you, one of the biggest impressions, and always whenever I have reverence about Elvis, is what a God-loving man that he was. Really, it was my biggest impression.
So that was all true? Because his mama always used to say that.
No,
but you never...
it was an aura that was just radiant, about him. And, I don't know. I used to feel that all these bodyguards used to create stuff to keep a job, create all this fear. And I remember one time he used to have these 2 Great Danes, and somebody threw poison meat over the fence and killed, one of his dogs. And, just horrible things. I mean, just the fact that, wigs would have to be done so he could go for a drive so somebody just wouldn't crash into him.
I'm not expecting you to cut the man down, but, I mean, did he care about Priscilla? I mean, was that an honest to goodness?
Well, I never, saw anything, he never...
He didn't confide in you, though, that this bitch has got to go or anything?
No, nothing like that. He wasn't catty at all about anybody. In fact, one of the cutest things, I think, and to say cute, but anyway, was one time he asked me if I had seen this billboard of Ricky Nelson. And did I think that could he maybe ever wear his hair like that? And I thought, it was so cute. It was like Ricky Nelson was like kind of a younger guy, and it was like the first kind of spiked hairdo kind of going up. I said, Elvis, don't mess with success. You look great.
Take it like it is.
And he was gorgeous.
Was he ever rude to you or anybody around him, or was he always in a playful type of mood?
No, he was very playful. He always had, a twinkle and a lip. He was always Elvis. Yeah, he'd want me to come in and see his new solid gold belt with emeralds and diamonds. Some of the owner of the Hilton gave
show you his toys.
What do you think about this? I said, nice, Elvis, nice. I mean, could hardly hold it.
What do you say?
Weight you down.
No, Elvis, that really sucks. I hate that thing.
These movies they're on. The first was on last night, and the second part is on tonight. Right. The whole thing deals with his wife Priscilla's insecurities with their relationship.
I know she was real uncomfortable with all those bodyguards. I used to think they, probably had one under the bed, but
did she share any of that with you? The hairdresser knows for sure kind of stuff? Like, I think Elvis is fooling around on me. He's taking too many drugs. I mean,
I had such a, forever a love. I mean, if anybody would have told me when I was, scotch taping Elvis all over my room, when I was 12 that I'd be cutting his hair,
That's
I mean, it was like hard to calm down, try to be casual here.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to, I didn't set up any kind of room for anything nasty to even come in, I didn't want to have to be in a position where, it's a very political position when you are a hairdresser, I mean, especially doing couples. I'd know if someone's pregnant before the husband did. And by who? Oh, dear.
Elvis was out here doing movies. He did like a string them. How many did he do?
33.
Okay. And he really got sick of them after, like the last 10 he did. He hated all the scripts were the same. Did he share that with you?
Yeah, he did say, things like he was just so limited to one kind of set, and they always, just put him that
same
night.
kind of movie.
I think he got discouraged, but when you're such a high-powered, person as Elvis, who are you going to play? I mean, what can you do?
Well, how come Elvis could cliff dive off a 100-foot cliff and come up and his hair was still in place?
Were you responsible for that?
Was it something?
Yeah. Was it stunt hair?
Wait, he never got his hair wet.
No, not Elvis, not the king.
That's the king for you.
People used to ask me to save clippings, Oh, he's saving the hair.
Did you?
No.
Come on.
No.
You have an envelope at home full of them.
I looked at it for a minute, but then
I think I'll take a handful.
I'd rather have the belt.
All right, I tell you what, let's do. Let's take a break. Then we'll come back and find out all of the people that you've done, because there are some very impressive names in there.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We've got 16 minutes until 9 o'clock now. Mark and Brian program, good morning. 95.5 KLOS. That's, of course, David Lee Roth. 8 minutes until 9. Again, our special guest is Carrie White. We're talking about she used to do the hair of Elvis Presley, but she also did many, many other people that we're all familiar with.
She was the big man on campus. They would come to her.
Everybody.
For a number of years. She still does big stars' hair and stuff, but I mean, there was everybody and anybody would come to you. You said that Bill Cosby flew you in somewhere to do his wife's hair for a present. And you had a story about Neil Diamond doing his hair.
Well, that's one of the funny stories. I had this crazy assistant that used to, was with me forever. I mean, you really, when you moving that fast, you need somebody you can really count on. I remember one time she coming over and telling me this story. I had given Neil Diamond a permanent, and he was in the shampoo bowl there and getting rinsed, and he said to my assistant, he says, do you think I can make it for the Glenn Campbell show? And my assistant said, if Glenn Campbell can make it, you can make it. And he said, no, I mean, can I be there by 3 o'clock?
Neil in the shampoo bowl.
Yes, sir, buddy.
I'd love to see that.
That's a fun thing to think about.
Yeah.
All right, now you also did, and help us with these.
David Bowie for Man Who Fell to Earth. I remember one time they told me this big rock star from Australia was here, Rick Springfield. I said, Australia, I'm busy.
So you wouldn't do his hair.
Do they have radios?
Tied up with that. You did Marlon Brando. Did he have hair?
Brando, Warren Beatty.
You were on Shampoo. You did the hair in the movie.
Technical advisor
for Shampoo. Yeah. So did you actually do the hair?
I cut Warren's hair for years. I just recently reconnected. I'm just kind of back out of retirement after about 6 years in Malibu, where I barely brushed my teeth, let alone my hair. I'm very tired. But now, it was like Melrose got my attention. All those, I was doing all those crazy colors and models with navy blue hair and hot pink streaks. And it was like I just couldn't outdo myself. One more day, I was doing hair and roller skates around the shop. And
you were in roller skates doing hair?
There was so much happening, the 60s and the 70s. Yes, I was doing flippers was real big, and everybody was into roller skating. I still have them in the trunk. Just ask me. You want to skate?
Just in case it pops up again. You're ready for it.
Then I found out what that meant by Steely Dan. Didn't know you were a roller skater. Anyway.
Well, I tell you what, is there anybody else we didn't talk about? Is there anything else you wanted to tell us about? Because we sit here and we discuss this in between commercials and records and stuff. We want you to hear all the stories.
Well, God, I don't know. It was just great. I don't think people sit in beauty shops like they used to. I mean, I used to have them lined up around the door, and I used to do the political people from Nancy Reagan to Ethel Kennedy. It was like a joke. Get down the Nancy posters. Here comes Ethel. We're going to the White House. And Nicole Salinger and Govern and I don't know what, and then the rock and rollers and everybody come in from Sly and the Family Stone going ooga booga and scare all the customers.
Oh God! Ooga booga. You touched his hair?
Ooh.
Okay, now one that'll be real big for the rock and roll audience here. You did the hair of Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, red. He was into red at that point. He's come in and put henna on his hair. He was crazy. He was great. But being here is hipper than dead.
I agree. I agree with that.
What was he?
I used to say, Jimmy, you're too hip for me.
What was he like? Was he a little out there? Or?
He had no limits. Let's put it that way. Endless, endless, and Did
he bathe at all ever? Do you remember him ever bathing?
Not with me.
Well, that's probably good.
Thank God for that. We feel better about that.
Just do their hair, honey.
Okay. No, but he was just totally out there.
Totally out there. Space, the last frontier.
Did you do his hair for a long time or just
No, he just, I don't think. Sometimes he'd send it in. No.
Have it done.
Wipe me when it's over.
All right. Well, listen, Carrie, you've been a fabulous guest. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
I think you've picked up yet another. I think Brian.
I gotta say hello to my kids, Adam, Daisy, Loma, Petita. Hi, guys.
How many you got?
4.
How you young and doing?
When I told my son that I was going to be on this show, he said, "No way! I want to get on there."
What's your son do?
He goes around saying "son of Kong." I mean, Carrie.
Okay. All right. As far as you kids being on the show, no possible
way. What do you know?
No possible
the Mark and Brian show, man.
Too many anyway.
Carrie, we appreciate you coming up and being on the show, and it was great having you.
Thank you.
And watch the rest of the Elvis special. You may see something that you might have done in there.
Did you ever see Don Johnson do Elvis? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, we did.
Was sort of ridiculous.
Yeah, we sure did. Now, the Kurt Russell.
No. No, he did a wonderful job. Good old Don.
The Kurt Russell Elvis. Did you see that one?
I missed that.
That was a fabulous job.
Did you see the Pia Zadora Elvis? That was incredible.
That was my favorite so far.
Did Peter Sellers do Elvis?
No, we missed that one. Damn it. There's so many things we haven't seen.
All right.
Anyway, Carrie, thanks for coming in. Maybe you can come back and be with us sometime.
Absolutely.
I have an appointment with her tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So Wednesday you're going to see a new me.
All right. Well, I got that to look forward to then.
What color?
Are you going to come in with like purple on one side and blue on the other?
Just may.
Okay.
I just may.
Fine. If that's what you're into, fine.
Did you ever do Justine Bateman's hair?
No.
Oh, well, could you and then introduce me?
Yeah, I heard you're a little excited.
He's got a thing about that. I don't know.
I got to have her. I got to have her.
Well,
she's got to have me. I feel that. I have an emotional bond with her.
It's going to become sickening. You want to leave now. You really should.